All right, guys. So another car from another shop that diagged it and hasn't been fixed yet. So here's the customer's concern. Yeah, customers diagnosed customer's concern code P1457. I think that one's an evap leak or something. P1706. I don't know what that is. I gotta look that up, right? And the P1457 has been looked at by another shop, and they diagnosed as the gas cap, and the light went off, and came back 2 weeks later. And you know why it came back 2 weeks later? Because it went through a drive cycle. It doesn't. It takes a while to go through a drive cycle, but it does go through a drive cycle after a while. And the computer checks it again, and yeah, it still has the same problem. So the gas cap did not fix the issue. That's why it came back 2 weeks later, just to let you all know, right? Sometimes it might be a month because some people don't even drive that much, right? They might drive 2-3 kilometers during their commute, and it'll never go through a drive cycle. So yeah, then okay, whatever. Then the other code popped up, and the customer looked it up, and it was a transmission code. So we'll probably look at see if there's a transmission code in there. He's noticed hard shifting and has not been driving in the car since. Okay. Also, it has it's in for an oil change too. So also doing a multi-point inspection for the basic oil change. All right, so I'll bring you back. I'm going to hook up the scanner and see what codes we have in it. All right, so this is a 99 Accord. It's got 193,000 kilometers. So I'm going to be using the Zeus. I find it that the snap-on scanner is quicker on the older cars than the OEM scanner or the factory scanner on the old cars, because I don't know. I guess for some reason the OEM one takes a lot longer to set up when you're using it on older cars, but the snap-on is pretty quick. So anyways, I'm going to go into engines and scan it. This screen just freeze. As I was saying, how the snap-on is a lot quicker. Well, okay, so yeah, it froze because the battery's not 14.1 volts. Okay, I'm gonna reset the scanner then. Right, we are back after I resetted it. So let's scan the engine codes only. Permanent codes. Yeah, evap control system leakage canister area. Okay, so that's our code. Wonder if there's any temporary codes. No temporary codes. Okay, now let's look into transmission. See if there's any transmission codes. Codes only. Yeah, no transmission codes. So I guess we're just dealing with the evap. I wonder if this 99 has the evap function test. Where is it? You see it? Exclusion field evap system. There you go. Function test. This thing just goes through all the your purge, your vent, and key on, engine off. Yeah, that's good. Continue. Shift is in neutral. Parking brake. Let's do that. Check fuel level. It is just over half a tank, so it's good. Start the engine. Oh, DTC found. Okay, I gotta clear the code then. Go back. Key on, engine off. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. First, I'm going to see if we can do that function test, and I just want to see those three PIDs: purge, vent, and fuel tank pressure. And then see if maybe one's not working or one is working. Maybe the vent valve is just not closing and just causing a evap leak at the canister. The other thing we can do is we can pinch off the vent, and we can smoke it and see if there's any smoke coming out of somewhere, and see if we can find it that way. So there's a couple of ways, you can check for evap leak. And if you're the other shop, don't just call it gas cap, actually check it. Engine off, continue. All right. Neutral, parking brakes already done. Start engine. Test mode 1, test in progress. So it's the same as the OEM scanner. It just doesn't have the I guess the graphs, I guess. So 2.5 volts with atmosphere. There's a bypass solenoid and the canister vent solenoid. So it's a bypass solenoid. Maybe it's an older thing. I'll look that up later. So we just want to see the evap purge control duty cycle. So if it goes on, we'll watch the fuel tank pressure voltage, right? See what it does, and then if it doesn't do anything, maybe the purge is not even opening, or the vent valve is stuck open, right? So now the vent solenoid is on. It should be sealed. I'm still not sure about that bypass. Maybe, yeah, the new cars don't have that. On a 99, probably 9 years old when this car came out. Yeah, so you should see that voltage go up when the vent solenoid is closed. So yeah, other than that, we can just control that vent solenoid and see if it works with the scanner when we're underneath the car. That's also another thing. So you saw the duty cycle of the purge control valve is at 20%, but the fuel tank pressure hardly even dropped. Oh wait, actually no, the evap is I kind of missed it. Evap was I wonder if it's off. Yeah, it kind of just went down. See, it went down and then it came back up because it's still drawing 20% duty cycle, and the canister vent solenoid is on, so it should be closed. So that should be drawing a vacuum there, but it's not. So we're probably dealing with, we know the purge control valve is working because your fuel tank pressure sensor is just, you know, hovering back and forth trying to put a vacuum in there, but it's not, you know, sealing. So we're gonna go underneath and see, check that canister vent solenoid and see if it's staying shut, because the purge the purge valve is actually working just from the fuel tank pressure voltage, and you can see, you can actually feel the car running kind of rough because you know, it's drawing fuel vapors into the engine. So yeah, this just tells me that the purge valve is working. Either the canister vent is not working, or there's just a big leak somewhere, like a cracked canister. So we'll let this test finish. They'll probably say it's like a large evap leak somewhere at the end of it. Usually if it's, you know, everything's good, it'll say normal. Yeah, see, it's like it's drawing it. This thing is yeah, it's still drawing, so you know the fuel tank pressure, I mean the purge valve is working. Now it shuts it off, and then the fuel tank pressure voltage is not, it's steady now because there's nothing drawing on it. So the vent solenoid's off now, so it should be open if it's actually working. Yeah, I think that's all I need to see. We're gonna see where that vent solenoid is. Just gonna let this thing finish, because I already know that there's something wrong just looking at those PIDs. And that's the end result. Possible failure. Check for loose or remove fuel cap. Canister vent solenoid stuck open. Large leak. Yeah, so something with the lines. This just gives you examples, right? So yeah, let's go check and see where our large evap leak is. I was wondering why the e-brake didn't feel like it had any resistance while I was doing the evap leak test. That's the e-brake cable. Other than the e-brake cable, sway bar link is popped off. There's the sway bar link. On the other side, no, the other side's okay. This thing's still intact. You can still, well, I don't know, still holding one wheel. All right, so I'm underneath the car just by looking at this, just to make sure that I know which is what. So you see this hose that goes into this subframe. That's most likely where my vent is going to be. So I just follow the lines. It goes into this, whatever this is, might be a filter. And then into this, which is most likely my vent, right? 2-wire connector. And then this, it's only 2 wires, so that might just be that that bypass solenoid. I don't know what that does, but we're not worried about that. And then there's the fuel tank pressure sensor up there, which is 3 wires. And you know, your fuel tank pressure sensor is usually 3 wires. You got power, ground, and then your signal wire. So that's most likely my fuel tank pressure sensor, just by looking at it and not using a diagram just to know what parts it is. So we're going to check this. Now you can see this thing is pretty crusty, so we're just going to use the scanner to actuate this and see if you can hear anything. And then I'm just going to, you know, put my lips put my lips on the hose and see if it seals, and that's all I got to do. We're going to go into single solenoid, and we have the bypass solenoid on off, canister vent solenoid. We're not worried about the purge control solenoid because we know it worked from the live data we had. So I'm going to turn this on and see if I can. I'll put you right beside it and see if you can hear it click. So it's on now. I did not hear anything. Right? I'm just right beside the vent solenoid right there. So I'm going to shut it off. Nothing. Okay, I'm going to turn on the bypass solenoid. And you can hear it click, right? Okay. And it clicks again when I turn that off. That was the bypass solenoid. So we're looking at the vent solenoid. It's not making any noise. We can always unplug this and check if there's power and ground going to it, right? Usually it'll set a circuit code if you disconnect it, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this hose off, right? And I'll put my lips on it and see if I can suck or blow onto that hose. So let me take that off, and then I'll turn it back on and see if it does anything. I took the hose off, right? Then I'm going to turn it back on. Sometimes they don't make noise. You can't really tell. So just to confirm that it's actually working. Should be on, working right now. I'm gonna put my lips on it, right? I'm gonna blow into it, make sure there's no spider webs in there, because I've had that happen before when I put my lips on it and it was like stuck. And I looked in there and it was like there was spider webs. Oh yeah, I blow right through it. So, shut it off. Yeah, that thing's not doing nothing. So I know I need it. A couple of Phillips screws on the end of that. So let's see if we can even get it for a 99 Accord, or if we can even get one. So yeah, gonna need a vent solenoid, not a gas cap. So before I want to make sure there's power and ground there. I'm gonna turn this on, right? And I have my lovely assistant holding my little light bulb on the connector. So I'm gonna turn it on. Sure. There you go. Nice and bright. So we got power and ground there. We just got a bad vent solenoid. And then I'm going to shut it off. Right? And it goes out. So yeah, you just got a bad vent solenoid. So just for the hell of it, I got my pinching pliers and I'm going to pinch off that vent and then see if I do the evap leak test again. It'll give me a vent valve stuck closed. So I'll pinch that off. I'll redo the evap leak test. All right, we're going back to the evap leak test and see if pinching that vent off will seal up that system and not have a large evap leak. Okay, this is gonna take a while. See what it does. or what kind of results we get. It'll probably get like a stuck closed vent solenoid or something. Just for shits and giggles, you know. Yeah, you can see the fuel tank pressure has gone up because I closed it, and then the vapor pressure is causing the fuel tank pressure voltage to go up. That's what's happening right now. If you're wondering why it's above 2.5 volts. We'll watch it until it turns on the purge and then see what the fuel tank pressure voltage is. There you go. See? Turn it on. Kind of yeah, so kind of a delay right there. Now that it's sealed, because I pinched it off, you can see it's dropping to 1.7 volts. Before it was just kind of hovering around 2.4, 2.3 volts when that purge valve opened, but now you can see it's staying at 1.9. So yeah, that just confirms that I got a bad canister vent valve. So yeah, just for shits and giggles, just wanted to show you. And then it's gonna, at the end of it, tell you that, oh yeah, there's a blockage in your vent side or something. Test mode 7, so it should be done pretty soon here. There you go, it's done. Let's see what it says. Vent valve stuck closed or something. Possibly a clogging of the fuel tank pressure sensor line. Fuel tank pressure sensor failure. Yeah, well, anyways. Alright, so I took a look. And we can still get the vent solenoid. I also look at some other stuff like the charcoal canister, because you don't know what the condition of that charcoal canister in, right? Because you can replace it. It'll fix the evap leak. But what if you get a vent valve stuck closed because all the charcoal inside is all deteriorated and it's blocking the there's a little foam inside the charcoal canister. You know what I mean? And it covers up the foam and it creates a vent valve stuck closed code. I've had that happen before. So yeah, we can get the vent solenoid, just not the charcoal canister. So see what the customer wants to do. It's just an evap code, but I mean, yeah, it's a 99. There's stuff that you can't really get for it. And yeah, the transmission code, nothing in there. Apparently this thing sat for a while, so. And yeah, I'm just gonna do a multi-point inspection, do the oil change, and see what else it needs. Yeah, I think that's the end of that video. Just to show you how, you know, checking things is better than just guessing things, I guess. Just throwing a gas cap because you have an evap leak. It's you know, usually you want to check it. Something like this is pretty good. Not like those intermittent evap codes. I'll show you one. I made a video because it had an evap code, but yeah, it's those intermittent ones, especially when the temperature starts getting cold and outside gets kind of frosty and things intermittently you know, stick open, like your vent solenoid, which is outside and you know, freezes. Yeah, random codes like that. So anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.